KOAM News Now on the TV app, available for iOS and Android.
Right now at 5, firefighters in southwest Missouri battle a pair of blazes during an elevated fire risk day.
And we've got ourselves a slightly warmer and sunnier day out there, despite the rain we saw late last night. We'll talk about that forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, local high schoolers get a hands-on demonstration of Pitt State's nursing school.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it rained last night,
yes,
just a little for some of us. We need that rain.
Absolutely.
And we get those stories about some of the fires that we've had. We've had the elevated fire danger. It's been extraordinarily dry. Unfortunately, we're not done with that fire danger yet. It's going to come back with a vengeance as we head into the weekend. But the nice weather returns too.
Nice weather, first day of March, just a few official weeks away from spring, but it already kind of feels like it. I do have to say.
It's been feeling like spring, even summer out there the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
So not been too bad. Let's take a quick look outside. It's our camera on top of the Cordell Complex in downtown Joplin. And we're looking pretty good so far this morning. Got a little bit of a breeze. You can see roadways, parking lots are wet. We did get some showers. We even had a little bit of drizzle out there this morning for some of us. MoDOT camera 30-second range line, again showing some wet roadways, but otherwise it's not a bad start to the day. It's still chilly, but it's a little bit warmer than where we were yesterday. Skywatch Storm Tracker, here are the few remaining showers into parts of southwest Missouri out there, all part of this low pressure and this big system. Look at the snow moving into Illinois, just to the east of St. Louis, and then showers and thunderstorms stretching all the way back towards the Gulf of Mexico. Here, temperatures again. We're now much warmer than where we were yesterday by about 10 degrees out there as we're into the mid to upper 30s across the area. So not a bad start. Kids getting on the bus. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies. They'll cool back just a little to about 34. South breeze 5 to 10. And winds are going to be relatively manageable today. Clearing out by this afternoon, mid upper 50s. South breeze still 5 to 10. Mid to upper 50s is what we're looking at for our highs out there as the clouds again gradually clear through the morning into the afternoon. And then we're going to see some changes, heading into the weekend. We're looking at much warmer temperatures. We're also looking at much gustier winds. We'll talk about all of that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon. Authorities in Montgomery County, Kansas file murder charges in connection with the death of a Coffeyville man. Michael McGinnis Jr. of Liberty, Kansas, and William McGinnis of South Coffeyville, Oklahoma, are both now charged with first-degree murder. They are accused in the premeditated death of 39-year-old Raymond Burnett. Police found the victim with a gunshot wound at a Coffeyville, Kansas home on February 3rd. He later died at the hospital. If convicted, both men could face life imprisonment with no chance of parole for 50 years. Some southwest Missouri firefighters have been busy on this day of elevated fire risk yesterday. East of Neosho, Missouri, a tire fire created a plume of smoke visible for many miles. This says a used tire wholesale near the intersection of Highway 86 and Highway 60. The smoke began to fade at around 5:30 p.m. last night. However, crews were still working late into the evening, hitting hot spots, flaring up. There are no reports of injuries and no word on the cause of this fire. And a wildland fire in the Carthage area burned for hours before crew managed to finally get it out yesterday afternoon. It swept through about 60 acres of grassland and brush. Investigators think it started as a controlled fire that grew out of control. We have no reports of injuries and no buildings are damaged. Missouri lawmakers advanced a bill that would provide a property tax break for residents. Officials say it would cut taxes by roughly $138 million. They say this is in response to local tax collection surging because of higher vehicle values. If passed, it would take effect in 2026. The bill now goes to the Senate. Early voting for the March 5th presidential preferential primary election begins this week. Voters in Ottawa County, Oklahoma can head to the community room at the courthouse annex to cast their votes today from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. High school students get a hands-on interactive experience at the PSU's Irene Bradley School of Nursing. A record number of high schoolers from Pittsburgh, Arma, Girard, and many other Southeast Kansas schools got a deeper look into what the next stage of their education could look like. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
According to the National Library of Medicine, the current nursing shortage is only expected to intensify over the next decade. So for students attending the PSU School of Nursing, it's important to get the next generation of healthcare providers interested.
I think it's really exciting. I mean, when we first were in the program last year, we didn't get the sim hospital, so we're kind of learning it with them, honestly. This is our first year with it. So that's been really neat, and it's exciting to see a bunch of new nurses coming because of the shortage. So.
While helping high schoolers, these nursing students have the chance to reflect on why they chose to go to school for nursing.
I think when choosing nursing schools, you look at so much stuff, and they said when we were applying that they're building the sim hospital, so, and then on top of the, the people who passed, the percent of people who passed the NCLEX and everything, it was really appealing to come here.
But today isn't just show and tell. High schoolers get the full hands-on experience, learning CPR, how to inject vaccines, and interacting with state-of-the-art simulation equipment.
I thought it was pretty cool. I like the simulation people. Those were my favorite part.
Even for those who haven't made up their mind, this experience may help the next generation save lives.
Knowing that everyone has the same goal in the same education setting, that I'll be able to know more, enjoy more, and like it better.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that more than 275,000 additional nurses will be needed by 2030. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Colgan girls basketball team entered last night's game undefeated. But can they keep this up? Plus, Russian President Vladimir Putin is once again warning the West to stay out of his country's business, or else. And we have a warmer and a sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
I'm Josh with Senior Insurance Consulting.
I don't think that's a provocative pose.
Weekdays at 3 on KOAM TV.
Well, yesterday was another Thunder Thursday, so let's take a look at the past week for OKC. It remains one of the hottest teams in the NBA. Thunder are in action as we come on the air, last night rather, taking on the last place Spurs. The Thunder actually losing that game though, 132 to 118. That snaps a 6-game winning streak. Before last night, the Thunder coming off a 2-game sweep of the Rockets. They beat them first in Houston, then second in Oklahoma City. Their recent winning ways have given the Thunder a game lead over the third-place Nuggets and slides them 1 game behind number 1 seed Minnesota. Your next chance to watch the Thunder on our airwaves is next Friday. That's when Oklahoma City plays host to the defending Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. That game tips off at 7 o'clock next Friday. As always, we begin our coverage with the Thunder pregame show at 6:30 that night. Switching gears to Kansas high school basketball, the Colgan girls team enters the night undefeated, 2 wins away from returning to the Class 2A state tournament. Colgan looking to stay unbeaten. The girls team facing the Dexter Spartans. Opening minutes, it's going to be a 3-pointer. Off the mark, but Lily Brown gets the rebound and scores the easy bucket. Next possession, same story. Brown is underneath for the rebound as she uses her height to her advantage. Later in the half, it's Brown again who continues to score inside. She finished the night scoring 18 points for the Panthers. In the second half, after a missed shot, it's a loose ball, and Molly Sweezy gets the rebound and the putback. Count the foul. Colgan was in full control last night. Into the fourth quarter, Lauren O'Brien getting the steal and going coast to coast as she finishes the layup plus the foul. And then closing this game out is Jakayla Davis. She's going to knock down the jumper. Colgan goes on to win easily 63 to 15. The Panthers advance to the sub-state title game on Saturday. In the second game of the night, the host team, Southeast, takes on the visitors, West Elk. In the first quarter, Kenzie Cassidy fighting for the ball and gets the lucky bounce on her shot. Southeast leads by 2, but West Elk kept it close all night as Bria McGee intercepts that pass, then goes all the way to score the layup. Gonna head to the second quarter now. Tegan Wagner drains the 3 from the corner for Southeast, but West Elk leads by 3 points at intermission. Early in the second half, 3-point shot is no good, but Charlie Gideon gets the rebound and the putback on one leg. Tough shot to make as Southeast trails by 2. A few possessions later, Cameron Sanders buries the 3 from the corner to tie the game. Southeast goes on to win the game 39-32. Colgan will play Southeast on Saturday. The winner advances to state. And here are a few more playoff basketball scores from across the area in the boys Class 3A Sub-State Tournament at Caney Valley. Girard beats Galena and Riverton takes down Frontenac. The Trojans and Rams will meet in the title game on Saturday. Over to Southwest Missouri, boys Class 4 District 12 Tournament. The top 2 seeds will meet in the district championship Saturday afternoon. Seneca and Aurora both win big in the semifinals last night. Then in the boys Class 5 District 7 Tournament quarterfinal round, Carl Junction season comes to an end with a 69-32 loss, but Webb City wins by 10. The Cardinals and Blue Jays will meet in the semifinals on Saturday. Still to come, we're going to see why a new study finds long COVID could cause a cognitive decline of about 6 IQ points. Plus, temperatures warming a bit today. Got a great weekend ahead of us, plus some winds. We'll take a look at all that in the forecast when we come back.
There's an improved news experience waiting for you. The all-new KOAM News Now app.
Phone away? No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
KOAM Skywatch weather with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney on air and streaming.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:16 now on this finally Friday here in the 4 states, and it is the first day of March. However, with our temperatures, aside from that cold blast we had a couple of days ago, it's kind of felt like March for the last 2 or 3 weeks across the area. Our camera downtown Joplin Cornell Complex got some lingering wet roadways, wet parking lots after a few showers rolled through the area overnight last night, bringing some much needed rain. We didn't get a lot, but at least we got a little out of there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, looking pretty good. There are a few lingering showers, as you can see, into southwest Missouri. All part of this big system. There's the spin of that low pressure bringing snow now into northeastern Missouri and back out towards St. Louis and into central Illinois as some showers and thunderstorms down to the Gulf. Now, we mentioned the winds are going to pick back up on Sunday, so ahead of that, for Sunday, we have a fire weather watch for most of southeast Kansas. And again, this will go into effect Sunday morning and run through Sunday evening, and of course that could be upgraded to a red flag warning later if conditions warrant. Our Saturday, we're going to start to get breezy on Saturday. Winds gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour overnight and into Sunday. This is why a fire weather watch is out there. Take a look at these wind gusts, anywhere from 40 potentially to 50 miles an hour as we head into our Sunday across the area. So they'll be out of the south, and that's going to usher in considerably warmer temperatures, but no outdoor burning as we head through the weekend. We are cloudy right now in Joplin. 37 does feel like 32. South-southeast breeze at 7. Temperatures around the region, again, not bad. A little warmer than where we were yesterday at this time as we're into the mid to upper 30s across the area. Starting to see some low 30s in our southeastern counties, and we'll fall back just a wee bit before we turn around and warm up just a wee bit later today. Clouds will gradually clear through the morning hours, and by 11 a.m. we're sitting at 46 degrees. Heading into the afternoon, we are looking at mostly sunny skies out there, temperatures mid-upper 50s. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be honest with you, some of the computer data does suggest that the clouds may not clear out this fast. I think it's more likely they will, which is why we're going with sunny, but there is that remote possibility they don't. And if they don't, then A, will of course be cloudier longer, but it also will keep our temperatures down a little bit well into the low 50s. But I think we're actually going to see a lot more sunshine. I think these clouds are going to blow right on out of here. Clear skies this evening, milder tonight, still chilly, but much warmer. 43 for our overnight low, 73 tomorrow. 78 on Sunday. The winds again picking up. These overnight lows back into the 50s. Still watching some thunderstorm chances on Monday. You can see the system recall, was originally looking into Sunday. It started sliding back. It has slowed down a little bit, so we're going to stay warmer one extra day heading into Monday into the mid-70s. And that system does again cool us back down into the upper 50s out there, and we'll see some additional rain chances toward the end of next week. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Hey everyone, Emerald Lagasse here, and I'm so excited to tell you about my
311-3010. That's 1-800-311-3010.
Topping Health Watch this morning. There are more than 7,000 rare diseases affecting up to an estimated 30 million Americans, according to the National Institutes of Health. And many of those diseases have a direct link to your genes. In honor of Rare Disease Day, Manny Gaither has more on the importance of genetic testing and one woman's fight for awareness.
My rare disease journey began back in 2001 when my dad Jack was diagnosed with a rare genetic condition called adrenoleukodystrophy, or ALD for short.
Over the next 2 years, Taylor Kane says her father lost his ability to walk, talk, and swallow.
He went into a vegetative state and he passed away on hospice care when I was in kindergarten.
At that young age, Kane also learned she was a carrier of this rare X-chromosome-linked recessive disease and says she has a 50% chance of passing it down to her future children.
My dad inherited the mutation from his mother, and she inherited from her mother, and it goes on and on.
Kane says knowing she's a carrier has empowered her, allowing her to plan for the future. That's why genetic testing before pregnancy is so important, says Dr. Dallas Reed with Myriad Genetics.
It is a blood test or a saliva sample that can be ordered by a physician.
Reed says oftentimes carriers have no symptoms and no idea they have the condition. Testing can change that.
It does allow couples to make decisions about how to build their family. Do they want to have children? Do they want to use something like in vitro fertilization or sperm or egg donation? Do they want to think about adoption? So really doing the testing prior to pregnancy gives us the most information and the most options.
It's been 20 years since my dad passed away, which is crazy to say, but I feel like my advocacy for rare diseases is only just beginning.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
To help rare disease carriers like herself, Taylor Kane started a nonprofit organization called Remember the Girls, with information to help support other carriers. Whether it's smoking, vaping, or eating, any use of marijuana has been linked to a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. According to a new study, daily users had a 42% higher risk of stroke and a 25% higher risk of heart attack. Meanwhile, non-daily users also had an increased risk, but it wasn't as high. The study, published Wednesday in the Journal of the American Heart Association, analyzed data of 430,000 adults from 2016 through 2020. About 10% reported using marijuana. A majority of them said smoking was their most common form of consumption. The American Heart Association advises people not to smoke or vape any substance because of the potential harm to the heart, lungs, and blood vessels. A new study finding long COVID could cause a cognitive decline about 6 IQ points. The New England Journal of Medicine study looked at more than 140,000 adults who did an online cognitive assessment in 2022. It found those who had COVID symptoms and recovered lost about 3 IQ points compared to people who never had COVID. And those who had COVID symptoms for 12 weeks or more had lost 6 IQ points. But researchers say the losses may not be permanent. They point out those who recovered from long COVID by the time they did the survey saw the losses shrink back to the same levels as those who recovered quickly. Well, in Alabama, there are now 3 bills dealing with the in vitro fertilization that are being debated. Those measures could grant civil and criminal immunity relating to IVF patients and providers. On Wednesday, the bills passed out of a state House and Senate healthcare committees. As Aaron Wise reports, it's an issue that drew hundreds of people to the state House to urge lawmakers to make a decision to protect the process.
It was long and hard, but they were definitely worth it, and we made it out, and I just want that opportunity for everybody else.
Chance and Philip Bell wouldn't have their twins without in vitro fertilization. They have 2 additional frozen embryos.
As it stands, we don't have a choice on if we want to use that or not. We're kind of locked out of that decision right now.
Chance wants the Alabama Supreme Court's ruling deeming frozen embryos children overturned by lawmakers, but she sees the bills providing legal immunity as a first step. Senate Bill 160, sponsored by Senator Larry Stutz, would give civil and criminal immunity to providers who are following commonly accepted practices of care. Senate Bill 159 and House Bill 237 provide any individual or entity legal immunity for death or damage to an embryo.
Patients need to have the same protection as the doctors and the providers, and that's what we're trying to do.
Bill sponsor Senator Tim Melson says his bill provides the legal clarity to restart IVF treatments. Some believe these bills don't address the elephant in the room,
which was a Supreme Court ruling that an embryo is a child.
Senator Linda Coleman Madison says not addressing that decision head-on will cause legal trouble in the future.
Can I take this embryo off income tax? Can I apply for school choice? I mean, it's a child. We have got to add some specificity to this. We have got to add some specificity to the law.
The bills now go to Alabama's full Senate and House. In addition, the state's House minority leader is sponsoring 2 bills. One would make it a law that an embryo outside of a uterus is not an unborn child. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another chilly start out there and a few lingering showers. We're going to warm up a bit today and be more sunny than where we have been. Look at that forecast when we come back.
Good morning, I'm Elise Noe with your KOAM News update. Authorities in Montgomery County, Kansas file murder charges in connection with the death of a Coffeyville man. Michael McGinnis Jr. of Liberty, Kansas and William McGinnis of South Coffeyville, Oklahoma are both now charged with first-degree murder. They were accused in the premeditated death of 39-year-old Raymond Burnett. A wildland fire in the Carthage area burned for hours before the crew managed to finally get it out yesterday afternoon. About 60 acres of grassland were lost. Investigators think it started as a controlled fire that grew out of control. There are no reports of injuries and no buildings are damaged.
And we've got ourselves a warmer day out there. Skies clearing into the afternoon. Sunny, south breeze 5 to 10, mid-upper 50s out there. Clear skies through the evening and into the overnight. And we're a little warmer tonight as well, falling back into the low 40s out there. Low 70s tomorrow, sunny. Winds start gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour. Winds, though, get really gusty Sunday. They could be out of the south 40 to 50 miles an hour, so do keep an eye on that. And we're considerably warmer, upper 70s. Some thunderstorm chances Monday with the system coming in mid-70s, and that'll kick us down into the upper 50s next week with more rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yoni, you'll want to attend this adult comedy set in an Army basic training camp. Shows March 22nd through the 24th at Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium.
Right now at 5:30, a beloved children's book of characters brings a love of reading to some kids in Joplin.
Plus, we've got ourselves a warmer day and a sunnier day out there, ahead of even warmer temperatures. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Fort Scott Chamber of Commerce hosted a reception for local artists showcased at a new exhibit.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's so interesting. We were actually just discussing cats.
Yes.
Right before we started, and then Cat in the Hat was the first thing that came up. It kind of made me chuckle.
You knew what was going on. Look at you, all your years of news, and you're ahead of the game.
I did one time I had some telepathic insight into what was about to come. We have papers that tell us, but I just don't really read them.
You don't need them, obviously.
I apparently not. I can predict the future. This is there was what was that show? Early Edition. This is probably well before your time.
I think it's not ringing a bell over here.
Early Edition. Some of you folks at home may remember it was this guy. He always got like tomorrow's newspaper today, and he would use that to like go help people and prevent crimes and things like that.
Well, I think you need to leave the morning news and go, do a revival of that show, because it looks like you've got it down.
Apparently, we've got something going on. We also have some warmer temperatures today
we do.
going on. Right now, though, it's a bit chilly out there. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. It's got some wet roadways because we did get some showers for at least some of us last night, which is helpful given the fire situation we've had over the last several days. And as we take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, a few isolated showers lingering in the parts of southwest Missouri associated with this low pressure. Look at all that snow off into northeastern Missouri and into Illinois, and it's part of things, showers, thunderstorms stretching all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico out there. Temperatures this morning a little bit warmer than yesterday too, by about 10 degrees. We're mid-upper 30s out there, seeing some low 30s, and temperatures are going to fall back just a wee bit before they warm back up. Mostly cloudy when the kids get on the bus, 34, south breeze 5 to 10. And my favorite part, south breeze 5 to 10. No gusts, no intense winds today. We're looking at sunny skies and 56 when the bus brings them home. Mid-upper 50s is where we're going for highs today out there. Skies gradually clear throughout the morning hours. It's going to get warmer into the weekend. However, it's also going to get windier into the weekend. And we'll look at all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the Carthage Humane Society has a new roof. It comes thanks to a fundraising effort between the community, Steadley Trust, and Ridgeline Roofing. The old roof had been damaged and was leaking, making the shelter unable to accept stray dogs from the city. Because of community support, Ridgeline Roofing offered to repair the roof free of charge, meaning the money raised could fix the structural damage from the leaks.
We took today to say thank you to the community, to say thank you to Steadley Foundation, Ridgeline Roofing, and JR Western Wear for the incredible support that we've received. It is through community fundraising, through community donations that we exist.
The Humane Society is at 13860 Dog Kennel Lane in Carthage. And it wasn't a dog, as Chris predicted, it was a cat, but the Freeman Learning Center had a special visitor. The Cat in the Hat showed up to help Freeman executives read 3 of their favorite Dr. Seuss classic stories to excited children. The fun extended to the staff at Freeman as well.
I think it's a great opportunity to show kids that, one, reading is a fun thing to do, and particularly with the Cat in the Hat books, there's just such a great message. Today I read Oh Say, Can You Say Dinosaur? And the kids were very enthralled by the different types of dinosaurs that we kind of walked them through, how to say the name, and also some of the things that they did, like a T-Rex being a carnivore, and the Ankylosaurus defending itself with spikes on its back.
Freeman Health System and Ozarks Public Television teamed up for the event, which helped promote reading skills and develop the kids' love of reading. Fort Scott is home to a new art exhibit. The Chamber of Commerce yesterday hosted an artist reception for the new Bourbon County Exhibits Council Fine Arts exhibit. All of the work comes from local artists and is set up to the Ellis Fine Arts Center at Fort Scott Community College.
We're from a rural area. I see a lot of animals. I see a lot of flowers and landscape, a lot of organic things, and I think it's just, you get a really sense of handmade, creative, working with your hands kind of aspect. So the inspiration, I would say, just kind of area.
The exhibit will be open through March 9th. You can check it out from noon to 7 p.m. every day. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A suspect has been arrested for allegedly stabbing 2 elementary school children in Germany. Plus, Israeli soldiers opened fire on civilians waiting for food in Gaza City. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
By autoinjury.com and the law offices of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
Topping World Watch, Russian President Vladimir Putin is once again warning the West to stay out of his country's business, or else. Putin told Parliament Thursday that the West is trying to destroy Russia.
A new warning for the West.
We also have weapons that can hit targets on their territory. And what they are doing, trying to scare the whole world, it does risk a conflict with nuclear weapons.
In his annual address to Parliament, Russian President Vladimir Putin told NATO not to send troops to Ukraine after France raised the possibility.
The US administration's professed interest in discussing strategic stability with us is merely demagoguery. They simply want to show to their citizens and the world, especially in the lead-up to our presidential election, that they continue to rule the world.
Russia's presidential election is in mid-March, with early voting already underway in remote regions. For the first time, voting will take place in occupied Ukrainian territories, something the U.S. quickly condemned. Washington is also watching the situation in Moldova after pro-Russian officials in the breakaway region of Transnistria asked Moscow for protection.
We have seen Russia take a number of incredibly reckless and destabilizing acts in the region. That's not nothing new.
Putin amended Russia's constitution, enabling him to remain in power until 2036. He's widely expected to win a fifth term next month, with most of his prominent opponents exiled, behind bars, or dead.
The public murder has once again showed everyone that Putin is capable of anything and that you cannot negotiate with him.
Yulia Navalnaya keeping Alexei Navalny's message alive. Her husband, the famous opposition leader who recently died in a Russian jail, had urged his supporters to voice their disapproval at the polls this year. Police are already outside the cemetery where the 47-year-old will be buried on Friday.
Today, Ksenia Karelina appeared in a Russian court. The dual U.S.-Russian citizen was recently arrested on suspicion of treason for allegedly donating about $50 to a U.S.-based charity supporting Ukraine. The court denied her appeal against her detention.
A family of pandas from Madrid is heading to China. The 5 pandas will take part in a breeding program at the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. A zookeeper and vet accompanied the animals on their 11-hour plane trip. The animals even got an escort from officers with the Civil Guard and municipal police, and their own personalized transport boxes. Giant pandas have been saved from extinction thanks to decades of conservation efforts. There are more than 1,800 pandas now in the wild and in captivity. Prince William visits a London synagogue and condemns anti-Semitism. In his first public appearance since having to cancel his attendance at his godfather's Thanksgiving service earlier this week, the heir to the throne toured the synagogue and heard about how Jewish students across the UK have been affected by the rise in anti-Semitism since the Hamas attack on October 7th. He also spoke with Renee Salt, a 94-year-old Holocaust survivor. William told those in attendance at Thursday's event that he and his wife are extremely concerned about the rise in anti-Semitism, and that he was there to, quote, reassure you all that people do care. The prince spoke out last week about the fighting in Gaza, saying there has to be an end to the conflict, quote, as soon as possible. A suspect has been arrested for allegedly stabbing 2 elementary school children in Germany. A 21-year-old man is accused of attacking a boy and a girl with a knife and a hammer Wednesday outside a Catholic church in Duisburg. Police say the victims, ages 9 and 10, suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A school teacher is reportedly being credited for quickly coming to the aid of the children. The suspect, identified as a German-Bulgarian man, was taken into custody shortly after the brutal attack. A motive remains unclear at this time. Israeli soldiers opened fire on civilians waiting for food in Gaza City. They say it was self-defense. The Palestinian says it was a war crime. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin has more from Tel Aviv.
Do you still expect the ceasefire is possible by Monday, sir?
Probably not by Monday, but I'm hopeful.
President Biden not mincing words about the potential impact of an Israeli strike on Palestinian civilians. It happened on Thursday. Witnesses say Israeli forces fired on a crowd of people waiting in line for food in Gaza City. More than 100 were killed and at least 700 injured. But Israeli officials tell a different story. They say the IDF was helping to distribute aid when the crowd became violent, forcing the troops to defend themselves.
Humanitarian aid vehicles entered the Gaza Strip and were overwhelmed by people attempting to essentially loot, to take that aid from those aid trucks.
The White House says it is still investigating, but the incident underscores the urgency of the ceasefire talks currently underway. President Biden had previously said he was hoping for a new agreement by Monday, but acknowledges that's not likely after today's attack.
We're checking that out right now. There's two competing versions of what happened. I don't have an answer yet.
Are you worried that that will complicate these negotiations?
I know will.
Making things worse, there are virtually no medical supplies to treat the hundreds of wounded civilians, resulting in chaotic scenes inside the few remaining hospitals still functioning in northern Gaza.
What is happening to us is unjust. It is unfair. We are people who just want to live and eat.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told Congress more than 25,000 women and children have been killed in Gaza since October.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
I'm Josh with Senior Insurance Consultants. If you're fishing for the right Medicare plan and it seems to be over...
To learn how you can stay safe if the unexpected happens.
I don't think all that's going to fit in there.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:46 on this Friday morning, and it is the first day of March. It is a finally Friday, and we are starting to see some drying take place as some of us got some showers last night. Of course, that's our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. This is the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line. Looking back to the west, you can still see roadways a little bit on the wet side, and there was even some drizzle for me, at least, on the way in here this morning. You can see the only actual detectable precipitation out there still almost right along the 54 corridor, stretching from Nevada and points eastward. Nothing significant out there now. Part of this low pressure, again, bringing snow and showers and thunderstorms all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, and that snow rolling into Illinois. Now, winds are going to increase this weekend and on Sunday. So kicking in Sunday morning through Sunday evening, there's a fire weather watch for most of southeastern Kansas, and that could be changed to a red flag warning, so something to keep an eye on. Definitely, you do not want to do any outdoor burning this weekend as the winds start to pick up. We go into our Saturday. The winds are going to be out of the south, gusting upwards of about 25, potentially 30 miles an hour. But Sunday, here's why we have that fire weather watch out there. Take a look at these gusts, 40 to 50 miles an hour out of the south as we head into our Sunday. And most of our Sunday is going to be like that as well, with these gusts continuing in that 40 to potentially 50 mile an hour range. So do keep an eye on that, and do keep that in mind if you've got some weekend plans. 37 in Joplin right now, feeling like 32 with the southeast breeze at 7. Temperatures this morning about 10 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. Most of us mid-upper 30s, a couple of low 30s out there, but otherwise not a bad start. Chilly, but not bad. We're going to start to warm up through the morning, and clouds will begin to clear out there as well. We're going to go 46 by 11 a.m. Heading into the afternoon, sunny skies, looking pretty good. Mid-upper 50s out there as we head into the afternoon, and that south breeze about 5 to 10. I do want to just point out, because clouds are one of those things, they do their own thing. There's a couple of pieces of computer data that suggest the clouds don't clear out this fast, and if they don't, the worst it'll do is it'll keep our temperatures just a few degrees cooler. But honestly, most of the data suggests we will go sunny by this afternoon, and that's what I'm thinking we're going to do as well. We'll be clear through the evening and overnight, and we're still chilly tonight, but a little warmer as we go into the low 40s. Warmer yet tomorrow, again breezy, sunny, 73 on our Saturday, upper 70s as we head into Sunday. We'll see some increasing clouds late in the afternoon and evening out there. And this storm system, we've been talking about it. Originally it was looking like late Sunday afternoon, then it was looking Sunday night. It's slowing down. It still shows up, but it's slowed down. Now it's looking to be a little more Monday afternoon. So we're still going to warm up one more day, mid-70s on Monday, cooling into the upper 50s for the rest of the week with some additional rain chances Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
What if you could much wider? This offer is not available in stores, so call or click now before the special buy one get one free offer goes away.
Well, a Sacramento, California small business just became a fan favorite to the movie stars. A Tamales restaurant and popular food truck recently served a film crew in town multiple times. Now, after getting rave reviews and put in the Hollywood spotlight, business is now booming. Ashley Sharp spoke with the owner.
Serving up a hot helping of Sacramento flavor.
The Leo special.
For the famous.
Just thinking about it even gives me chills.
Andres Yanez owns Yolanda's Tamales, a Sacramento restaurant and popular food truck. And thanks to one simple Google search for Sacramento's best tamales, they landed the gig of a lifetime.
They said, hey, what else can you guys do? And I was like, whatever you guys want.
A film producer with mouths to feed. You've probably seen these scenes around town. Star-studded streets in Sacramento and Stockton, featuring names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Tiana Taylor.
You know, it's good for Sacramento and it's good for us.
Work that works up an appetite.
Hey, come to Yolanda's. We'll take care of you guys. We'll take care of the whole crew.
What started with a simple order of 300 tamales for the film crew turned to 8 massive catering calls, totaling nearly $10,000. A feeding frenzy for the famous on film sets across Sacramento.
They're really happy with the food that they keep coming back.
After the crew wrapped their final order, Yolanda's Tamales posted their Hollywood spotlight on Instagram.
It's really an honor to be doing this.
And were blown away by the business boom.
The phone was blowing up all day today.
By those wanting a taste of what was served up to the stars.
It helped us out a lot. And I know it helped out a lot of businesses out in downtown as well.
They might not be on the big screen, but it's a big boost for a small business, feeding the famous and leaving one open callback.
You know, Leo, come try the fajitas here fresh, you know. I'll take care of you.
Well, that looks absolutely delicious. I wish that I could get a plate for myself. Well, stick around. We'll be right back.
Can't pick between sausage or bacon? Get both. Grab a
Casino Resort.
Well, Subway is giving away limited edition Sidekick safes for all your foot-long favorites. On Wednesday, the sub chain announced that it would be giving away 100 limited edition Sidekick safes, which are designed to keep your foot-long treats safe. The new Sidekick safes come shortly after Subway announced its new line of Sidekick snacks featuring a foot-long Auntie Anne's pretzel, Cinnabon churro, and chocolate chip cookie. To score a Sidekick bag, fans can go to subwaysidekicksafe.com until March 2nd and upload a selfie enjoying their favorite foot-long Sidekick for a chance to win. Well, today is a day of recognition for one of America's favorite foods. It's National Peanut Butter Lovers Day. There's the always classic PB&J sandwich, but it can be a dessert option when combined with chocolate or added to ice cream. But it's also versatile enough to be used as a dip for fruits or vegetables. Across the globe, from Africa to Asia, peanut butter has made its way into savory dishes like Thai peanut butter shrimp and African chicken peanut stew. There's a multitude of ways to enjoy its creamy or crunchy goodness. Some fun facts for you. It takes about 540 peanuts to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup was first introduced to America in 1928. Show some love today by trying a new peanut butter combination and sharing on social media using the hashtag Peanut Butter Lovers Day.
And you can actually learn a little bit more about this if you head down to Diamond, because we can thank George Washington Carver for peanut butter. You can go visit George Washington Carver National Monument down there and learn even more, and maybe take a jar of peanut butter with you. Today, a great day really to be outside. Now, not initially through the morning. It's a little bit on the chilly side out there. We're going to go mid-40s by 11 o'clock. The clouds gradually clearing through the morning. Heading into the afternoon, sunny skies, warmer today, mid-upper 50s, south breeze 5 to 10. So a beautiful day. And of course, George Washington Carver has that beautiful trail you can walk out there as well. So if you're up for a walk today, a great day for that. Clear skies through the evening and into the overnight. We'll fall back into the low 40s, so a little warmer than where we have been. Warmer yet Saturday and Sunday. However, the wind's going to pick up. Out of the south tomorrow, gusting upwards of about 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. Then we have those fire weather watches for most of southeast Kansas going into effect Sunday, as the south winds could increase to 40 to 50 miles an hour across the region. So you need to be aware of that. No outdoor burning this weekend. Clouds also gradually increasing. This system, it's been showing up for a while, but it's been slowing down from Sunday now into Monday. So that gives us one more day in the mid-70s. Thunderstorms on Monday, and that system does cool us back down into the upper 50s with some additional rain chances to close out the week. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Don't drink and drive. At Bath Naylor Funeral Home, we're not in a hurry for your business.
Ron's Massey Meat Sale is back and